Absolutely brilliant. What beautiful products. I wish I could just shove my hand through the screen and grab one. Having said that, we just heard the man who saddles Hansgrohe in South Asia. Now let's get on to the man who's going to saddle the next show, right? Reza. Reza Kabul is an amazing architect. Let's get him on screen. That's a wonderful session to head. Hi, Reza. All right.
Good evening, good day, good morning.
Good afternoon, Reza. So, I mean, God is kind. Who better than Reza Kabul to head a show, to anchor and host the show? He's a man of many achievements. Reza Kabul is grounded, but almost a workaholic, right? Who's somebody extremely detailed in his profession, in his domain, in what he specializes in. Reza Kabul established ARK Reza Kabul, a firm of architects, in 1988. Today, ARK has become synonymous to a brand with projects spread across countries such as the United States of America, India, United Arab Emirates, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Sudan, Russia, and many others. Headquartered in Mumbai, with its studios in Pune in India and in California in the US, ARK is a full-service architecture, interior design, landscape, and urban planning studio. Reza established ARK Reza Architects on a basic premise that spaces are an extension of oneself, and the need to make them functional and liberating is as essential as them being aesthetically pleasing. Could someone say that better? All right, that sums up Reza. Now, I won't want to be the man between Reza and his show. Let's bring in the speakers, please. So let me start with the gentleman I've interacted often with, architect Prem Nath, right?
Wow.
Architect Prem Nath.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody.
Right, is the principal architect and owner of Prem Nath and Associates. He's an iconic architect with a wide spectrum of work practicing in India under the name and style of Prem Nath and Associates for more than 55 years. Someone may want to mute themselves. PNA has excelled in wide array of projects, including hotels, resorts, including India's first revolving restaurant, the Ambassador Hotel in Mumbai, Golden Palm Spa and Resorts in Bangalore, and many more. He has many awards to his credit. The CWAB India Top Architect in 2020, this year, right? The IIA Baburao Mahatre Gold Medal in 2019 by the Indian Institute of Architects. Reality Plus, which is also a sister product, with a Lifetime Achievement Award this year, right? A man of many achievements, like I said. Architect Prem Nath is younger than any one of us on the show today, right? Let me tell you, he is a story bank for stories. We shall hear more of that. Now let me get on to Vineet. Vineet, my good friend from Bangalore, is actually a Kolkata boy, and just about a couple of days ago, we realized that his grandmother came from the same city or the small town in what is now the Punjab in Pakistan, which Mr. Prem Nath will associate with Chinnot. That's a great bond to have, Vineet. Vineet heads the Brigade Group, and he heads it since 2006. He's presently the Executive Director and CEO of Brigade Hospitality, that develops and oversees the management of hotels, service apartments, clubs, convention centers, besides corporate and institutional catering. Brigade Group has 8 operating hotels and several more under various stages of development. In October 2009, Vineet was given additional charge as the President and Director of WTC Trade and Projects Limited, in charge of Brigade's World Trade Center in Bangalore, Kochi and Chennai. That is less than 10% of the CV that I have of Vineet. Like I said, a lot of achievements. And also for Mr. Premnath. Shiv, my friend from Accor. One of the first few, or may I say, first fistful employees of Accor in India. Somebody who's put all the bricks together at Accor, right? An architect and building management professional with more than 2 decades of experience in the hospitality projects. Shiv, in his current role, leads Accor's India, Indonesia, and South Asia business. For the last 13 years, he's been an integral part of Accor's success, growth story, and achievement for over 50 hotels in India. 50 hotels in India, and another 100 in the pipeline. There's a lot more, like I said, Shiv. I shall now come to the man, the genial man from the island of Colombo. We usually meet on the cricket field, right? Or when we are holidaying, right? He's the executive director of Sankan overseas in Sri Lanka. Sankan is the Larsen & Toubro of Sri Lanka, right? Mevan is a chartered structural engineer by profession. He's graduated from the Imperial College in London, right, in 2012 with a master's degree in civil engineering with a first-class honors classification. Currently, the executive director of Sankan Overseas, the overseas construction arm of Sankan Construction Private Limited. He overlooks the organization's ground operations and investments in Asia and Africa. His international exposure and strategic knowledge of facilities Sankan is to undertake is huge, right? I must now come to the man from Shanghai, right? All the way from Shanghai. The penultimate speaker that I'm going to detail out, Thomas Stopper. Thomas is a very senior Hansgrohe head. He's the vice president for the entire operations in Asia, right? Thomas has stayed long in Shanghai. He's a resident of Shanghai and he works out of there. He heads the Asia region for Hansgrohe. He also heads the global strategic initiative for Hansgrohe to further expand its product assortments into new categories. Thomas hails from Germany. Like I said, he lives in China and he heads the China Innovation and Product Center. Welcome to the show, Thomas. Last but not the least, Asim Afsar, right? Asim I've known for the longest while, right? When I got onto this business, he was somebody who almost gave me the first few lessons on how to run the business. So I owe him a bit. Asim is the business head hospitality for neighboring countries and India for Hansgrohe. He's done 16 years working with the best brands. I wouldn't want to give the other brands any mileage by naming them, but he's very, very experienced, as his boss is, right? And his experience is from construction, furniture, home automation, and bathrooms, right? Your favorite subject, and I think your second company in the domain. I shall not take more time. It is time for me to hand the baton to Reza. Reza, over to you, sir. You're muted. Reza, mute. Unmute.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and thank you, Bhuvnesh and BW, for having me over. Thank you, Hansgrohe. Thank you, panelists, for all being on this great panel where we have the topic where innovation meets emotion. So I would like to share a story first regarding the toilets or bathrooms. Today we are so proud of showing off our bathrooms or toilets. I can take you back in time when I lived in Iran, and there we had the toilets outside the house. So it was a taboo. It was not a part of the house. It was outside the house. And people used to go, to the other corner of the house, used to get out of the house, used to go into the open yard, and then you used to go into the toilet, use it, and then come back. So it was not considered it was like a bad omen. It was a bad luck to have the toilet right inside. And of course, it was basically because there was no drainage facilities that was there in the city. It was all like there was a drill, they used to just bore into the ground, and then the drain was just connected to that until it filled up, and then they used to go to the next one. But today, I'm looking after 50, 55 years, we're looking at people inviting you over to their homes, and they want to show their bathrooms off. They've become a point where they want to show the products, and the products just now we saw in the video, really exciting, great. I was really excited. I think I should go to one of the showrooms and pick up a few for myself. So we've come a long way from the initial days, and so let's see what the panelists have to say. Firstly, I would like to go to Vineet, because Vineet is in the hospitality industry and he's been operating hotels for Brigade. So I would like to just ask him what is it that he looks for when selecting. We do the selection for the clients, but what do you look at when you want to select a bath fitting or a shower or whatever the sanitary ware? So what would you look at? Whether you look at a sustainable point of it, or would you look at the the pricing, or what would you look at for selecting one of these products?
Thank you, Reza, and hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
So firstly, I must start by telling Thomas that we are great fans of your brand, Thomas. In fact, we admire your brand. I consider Hansgrohe as one of the aspirational brands, at least for households. And for hotels, of course, we do. And we are one of your larger customers, as Gaurav would also certify in our hotels. And having said that, to answer your question, Reza, as far as what we look at in our hotels in terms of bathrooms, I think we look at a balance of style, something that is stylish to fit with the brand standards. And my friend Shiv is here. He throws a book of brand standards on me every time I sign a hotel with him. And of course, and in addition, we also look at what is sustainable, because to give you an example, the entire city of Bengaluru, most of you may be aware, we survive on tanker water. So we don't have water in the city, and we can ill afford to have luxurious products. Some of these products that are being showcased right now, the shoulder shower and all, maybe in Bangalore it's not very practical because of the water shortage. But yes, aspirational. And what we also look at is what is practical, because very often what happens is in the jungle of these brand standards being shared with us, with all our operators, and what is stylish, what is luxurious, we tend to forget the practical side of it. See, while let's say as a guest, all of us are frequent travelers in hotels. As a guest, when I go to a hotel, I want to look at something which is far more luxurious, for which I'm paying you a huge amount for per night. So I want to see a different product, an aspirational product, but at the same time, I have a certain set of rituals. Those rituals must be taken care of. So as we go along in the panel, I'll share some. In fact, I was when my friend BW told me about the topic, so I started jotting down a few points. I found that I have got 2 pages full of points to share with all of you in terms of just the bathroom alone. So I will not take up much of time right now. So as we go along, I'll probably try to share some very amusing anecdotes of what happens in bathrooms in hotels and how do we address those issues.
Right. Thank you. Thomas, could I just ask you to share something on the global trends that's happening in the faucets and the showers, and what is suitable for the Indian market?
Of course. Thank you very much for having me today. From the global side, trends emerge out of context, and 2020 has been a challenging year, as we all know. So due to COVID-19, the home is getting more and more important to the people, especially when you are stuck at home. You have a lot of time to rethink how you have decorated your home in the past and what decisions you have made. And therefore, the COVID-19 crisis, I think, can be seen also as the as the originator of many trends. On the one hand side, we talk in the bathroom a lot about hygiene. In public spaces, semi-public spaces, and private spaces, hygiene is becoming more and more important. So if you look, for example, in our product categories for electronic faucets, these are product categories which gain importance because they allow for touch-free operations, which is especially important in public and semi-public spaces. And then you have, of course, in your private space, also much more a need for washing your hands than in the past. So ease of operation is also something which we need to look at. At the same time, when you're stuck at home, like I said it earlier, the way you decorate your home is the way you live. And so we see a lot of trend from the consumer side in more expression of the individuality. I think Gaurav touched on that in the keynote. So for us as a manufacturer, it's important to offer the designers and our customers, different stakeholders, hospitality brands, much more opportunities to deliver individual solutions to realize dream bathrooms for their customers. Also during COVID, what we see that the general high level of stress and anxiety which we have in our societies is even further elevated due to that. So looking at this as a bathroom solution provider, where the bathroom is still one of the last sanctuaries and centers of well-being in your private house, where you can be just for yourself for a certain time and relax and rewind. This is important. I mean, we illustrated this in our keynote very well, I think, by investing a lot of research efforts into developing technologies and products which help you to enjoy 10 minutes of undivided attention best possible. So relaxation is very important in experience. An experience in different parts of the world means something different, also in the shower. In Asia, we look much more and also on the aspect of beauty. Especially Asian women, but also a lot of Asian men are very beauty centered. If I look here at the entire beauty industry in Japan, Korea, China, but I'm sure also India, beauty has just a different meaning and investments into beauty solutions than what we experience in Europe, for example. Water quality is a different topic in Asia. So also this correlates with beauty. So how can you really feel great in your shower if the water quality is not taken care of? And you have in many households still issues with that. So we need to, more and more companies are looking into this and combine this with product solution. And at the end, it's then also solutions, shower technologies, which help you to cope with water pressure. Because at the end, the delivery of the experience also depends on the overall context. So making sure that independent of water pressure or even in low pressure environments, you get great performance. This is something which more and more companies also invest their attention to, and also for Hansgrohe. So that's a little bit in a nutshell. I think a quick rundown of trends which I and Hansgrohe we see in the market.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Shiv, I'd like to come to you next and ask you, you've been looking at India. I mean, Accor is looking into India in a big way, and what I get from Bhuvnesh, that you're looking at another 100 hotels coming shortly into this thing. So what do you, what's the expansion plans, and what are your, what's in pipeline for the design trends and for Accor in India?
Thank you, Reza, and good afternoon, everyone. And I'm quite privileged to be on this panel of the esteemed speakers, my colleague and fellow architects with him. So yeah, you rightly said, Accor has still got a huge pipeline, and though we are in the pandemic period, but we have strategized of how to still continue our growth. So we are beginning a new chapter in our strategic roadmap to develop still the largest and the best performing integrated hospitality ecosystem. And how we are doing it that by putting our three strategic objectives, which are all the priorities are like to have focus, to have simplicity, and still to expand. Regarding the pipeline, yes, we still have about 100 plus hotels in the region which I take care, and there are many more in the rest of the world. But we are focusing primarily on the luxury project and the lifestyle project, which you can say is coming as a design trend moving forward. Because as earlier speaker also said, that the design is something which is evolving, and we are also continuing our growth to be more dynamic, more flexible, and more acceptable. So it is not only related to the food and beverage where we have the key emphasis, but also focus on the guest health and safety as well, which becomes the prime importance now and moving forward, and which brings to the fact that the bathrooms are becoming the most important and integral part of the hotels, from all the angles, like the public area bathrooms or whether they're the guest area toilets. And we continue our growth on all these factors in all our segments across the hotel. Like Accor has more than 38 to 40 brands globally. So we are doing these kind of innovations and expansion in all these brands with the same objective, which from budget to the luxury. And in India and this region, we see a lot of potential and growth in mid-scale, lifestyle, and the luxury brand, and that is what we are aiming to continue our growth.
So have you taken any special precautions looking at this situation of this pandemic? Is there some new norms for the Accor group?
Yes, we have taken a lot of precautions. We have started a program called All Safe with one of the international agency. We have, I'm proud to say that as of today, we have already implemented this All Safe protocols in operating hotels, all 50 of them. So they are one of the safest hotels, which I can also say that is better than our competitors, which we are doing in India. So from operational perspective, the health, hygiene, standard operating procedures, leading to the guest comfort, their health, and the staff, how they are. So all the areas have been taken care. In terms of design, we don't see this pandemic going to be there for future and forever. So we are not looking at changing anything in that design because Vineet will agree with me, because these things are temporary, and we don't want to increase the cost of the construction, increase the cost of the hospitality project, which are already under stress. So how we can still live within those situations and provide the best and the safe staying environment to the guest. And when we talk about the economics, the dynamic, and also the feasibility of the particular brand, because we have very strict guidelines, baseline of our various brand at what cost we should make. So these are things which are already in process and has been working successfully for us.
Thank you, Shiv. Miwan, let me ask you, just let us know about the resort construction of the company, share name of the project which is favorite for your company, and some of the design aspects that is there in that.
Yeah, so Sunken, we are primarily a construction company based in Sri Lanka. We do a lot of construction work in Asia and Africa, but we are engaged in a lot of resort construction and construction in the hospitality sector in the Indian Ocean, in the Seychelles, Maldives, and obviously Sri Lanka. So it's a bit difficult to pick one or two favorite projects because they're engaged in quite a few. But when you've been talking about the bathroom spaces, it plays a very big role in the resort project, especially that we carry out, and a lot of emphasis and a lot of attention is given to that, as you know, by the architects and as well as the developers. So we have developed hotels with a lot of operators, all the key operators, I'd say. And in all those hotels, wherever it is, whether it is in the Maldives, where from your bathroom you can see the corals and the sea water and fish underneath you, or if you're staring out into a jungle to the Seychelles, or if you're looking at some elephants drinking water from your bathroom in Sri Lanka, all these experiences all come, from the bathroom. So you cannot ignore it when you do the design. It's a very important part in the resort setting.
Good, thank you. Because resort business is very much, governed by the relaxation and so bathrooms are very important in a resort business.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean, even if you think about a few resorts, hotels you have been to, although you may have not paid too much attention to it, what you remember after you come back and how you sort of separate the different hotels is from the bathroom, because the bedroom is more or less the same. There's so much you can do. Of course, the color and the ID you can change a bit, but it is the real experience that you can let the guests experience the nature outside or get a good sense of the view. It's all in the washroom. So, and now technically speaking, even if you look at the area split, back in the day, the bathroom would be about 20-30% of the full area. But now, like in Seychelles and Maldives, you won't believe the luxury segment. The bathroom space is more, and it's bigger than the bedroom space. So more emphasis.
And even you spilling out into the open, you're having the open showers, and not only in it's not confined to the bedroom or the toilets itself. It spills out into the open as well for the experience of a shower in the open air.
Yes, exactly. So that is, as I said, that's when the guest really gets to experience the environment where he is and feel that if you look at a bedroom in New York and one in Seychelles will not be that different. But when you walk out to the bathroom, you really feel the difference. And it is because of this interference with nature. Your design and the quality of the products you use in the space also have to be equally good and be able to bear up with the forces of nature.
Thank you. Let me go to my senior most architect today, friend, brother. We are talking about innovation meets design. So could you elaborate something on that? How would you look at, how would you like to, some examples or something? How do you look at innovation meets design?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much. Because I have been doing building design, hotel design last 55 years. I've seen a lot of change happening, particularly homes and hotels and hotel rooms, hotel guest rooms and bathrooms. We have seen the changes happening in homes. The kitchen became open kitchens, and in the hotels, the bathroom became open bathrooms. They're starting using glass and able to get the view to the part of the room. And now bathrooms are coming outside to the exterior of your guest rooms. They also have views. And particularly when you have a resort hotels and resort kind of bathrooms, guest rooms, I can show you a few examples, a couple of them, as to how the changes happen. To see the example of the bathroom becoming part of the rooms coming outside, like also your room. You have a shower and you have a deck and your veranda like that. This is how the resorts are doing over there. The other, like in a resort, kind of hotel guest room, your veranda, your deck has become part of your bathroom and shower. That means you don't have a confined bathroom inside, which depend on the artificial ventilation. Here, there one bathroom over here, which has got a kind of skylight, and also the dusting kind of vanity opens out, and you can look outside also there. The people are trying to bring nature into the bathroom as part of that. The bathroom not become any more kind of taboo about that. It's a piece of decor, piece of lifestyle. I'm of the view that it's the other way. The emotion which gives the start to innovation, we call emotional innovation. If I'm not emotional, if I'm not passionate about that, if I'm not kind of good about that over there, I will not be able to get to innovation. I may fail one time, may fail again, I may struggle, like pursue or do here, ultimately come to some conclusion. Unless I'm emotional, I can't go design. An architect, a designer, a product designer over there. So it is the emotion is the starting point, not the other way that innovation comes and meet more emotion. As an architect, I get to know from clients that they give their moods over there and they have a lot of ideas over there. Today, technology is changing. We're getting into like smart homes and smart gadgets and smart tools. We're able to use kind of handheld devices. I can twist, I get a mist. I can just press a button, I get a kind of mist over there. I get a shower, I get it. I got normal rain shower over here, and I get even waterfall. Just at the head of flick of the thing in my hand. That's a new technology. Now, this is the kind of new innovations that are going to come into the bathroom in the future. They're called smart bathroom. We'll be putting music in that, putting some TV, put entertainment, some recreation. Bathroom is a place which will not be inside the room. It'll be part of your exterior of your room with a view and with a kind of part of beautiful kind of experience. That's what I see, whether it's a hotel room or luxury apartments or something kind of luxury homes, all put together. This is the way my future is see the bathrooms. And I can possibly discuss further on that. And I repeat again that emotions is the one which gives the innovation. So we have to be emotional about that. We have to be passionate about to create innovation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's great insight, sir. So let me come to you, Asim. Asim, you've been, as Bhunesh said, that you've been in the business for a long, long time. So what is your experience on these faucets and showers? And what do you think is going to gain popularity in India, looking at the Indian context?
Okay, so good evening, everybody.
As Vineet said, there is a lot of problems in Bangalore because of the water. This thing. So how would you look at it and how you come up with a solution to that?
Sure. So good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for having me on the show. With Bhuvnesh telling that I've been in the industry for a long time, that is just not indicative of my age. I'm pretty young. So yeah. But yes. So the point which Mr. Vineet made about Bangalore, that's a problem which everybody is facing. Throughout the world, we are trying to save water in more and more innovative way. And at Hansgrohe, we have this team of wonderful product designers led by, backed by competent German engineers who not only create technologies to save this water, but also ensure that our promise of a world-class showering experience is not compromised. Just like the title of this session, that our innovation meets emotion. So there are two technologies which I really take pride in talking about when it comes to water saving. The first one being air power technology. By virtue of this technology, we are able to make a drop of water with 3 parts of air and 1 part of water. So it is just like having the pleasure of 4 liters of water in 1 liter. And when we get this mix in a drop, the size of the drop is really nice and big. And when it falls from the shower head and hits your skin, it doesn't bounce away. It rather scales down, giving it a very gentle massaging experience and using every bit of that water. And this air mix of 3:1 is very, very critical, because if you add a little more air to it, that stream becomes like a mist and you cannot rinse off your shampoo, and soap, especially thick shampoo from a lady's hair. And if you add a little more water to it, you are saving less than what you can. So this 3:1 ratio of air and water mix is our patented and really helps us save a lot of water. The second thing that I would like to talk about here is our Ecosmart technology. With this technology, we are able to save almost 60%, in terms of water conservation. And how do we do it? So we do it in a very simple way. We try and introduce a restrictor. Now, this restrictor is not what you hear other brands doing, which is like a quick fix arrangement at the side where they just put a restrictor to reduce the flow, and hence the performance also comes down. With us, we place the restrictor at the time of manufacturing. We redesign the water channel because it's very important for us again.
I think Asim is having a problem with his network. I think Asim is having a problem with his network. So let's continue. I think when he comes back.
He's back.
Yeah. Okay. Did I break somewhere?
Yeah, you just got off and got back on.
Okay. Am I audible?
Please. Yes.
Okay. So if you just guide me, where did I break? I can start from there. I can pick up the thread from there. So
you were talking about the Ecosmart technology, which you save 60% of, water.
Okay. So what I was trying to explain was that in this Ecosmart technology, we try to introduce restrictors in the product at the time of manufacturing by redesigning the water channel and the product so as to ensure great water saving along with a world-class showering experience. And I was trying to give an example of a project which we did in Sri Lanka, Colombo. It's called the ITC Sapphire. It's located at the Golf Face Road, overlooking the ocean. Beautiful project. And in this project, the architect wanted to have a really nice big shower head. It's like a 300 mm, almost like a 1 foot, 12 inches, like a 12-inch shower head. And such a big shower head usually had a flow rate of 20 liters per minute. With our Ecosmart technology, we got it down to 9 liters per minute. But because of the LEED certification, the required flow rate was 6.6 liters. So we worked with our engineers and we tried to, achieve that, and finally we got it. And I would say that was one of the biggest qualifying factor for us as a vendor in the project. So yes, we could save a lot of water and hence have the great experience, which we promised for. I hope I was able to put my thoughts across without technical glitches.
No, that was great. Thank you. I think, Vineet, do you think Asim's answer is enough, or would you like him to elaborate something on that?